the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back trackside. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Back in action once again. The saga continues as season number 12 kicks off for the first time here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. Sun goes down, lights come on, and the heat will rise on track here tonight. High bank, high speeds, high adrenaline pumping action here tonight as the fans begin to fill the stands. Qualifying already behind us, just waiting for the drivers to get to the starting grid. Quick fire shotgun season, just 12 weeks here in season number 12 for the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Arca series, the American Sim Motor Racing League. Gonna get it on for the first time here tonight from Daytona. Let's get rid of the track information. If you know racing, you know all about Daytona. Who's gonna finish it off in victory lane with the fireworks behind the lake tonight? 15 drivers slotted in. We're going to find out who's got what it takes to be there at the end. But before we head trackside, how you doing? How you feeling? out there in TV Land race fans. Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. 75 laps in tonight's Visit Ocala. 75 Ocala, just a short stone's throw away from the track, just about 35 minutes or so outside of Daytona. Beautiful area. If you've got the time to stop by through Ocala, I suggest you do so. You will not be disappointed. Anyways, we're gonna get to it. Let's head trackside. As it does appear, most of the drivers have already made their way to their starting positions. I say that, it looks like we've got about 3 or 4 still trying to make their way through pre-race inspection. We'll see if they can get to it. So tonight's the night that drivers want to go ahead and shake off any of that rust right here at Daytona. It's a little bit, we want to say a little bit relaxed, maybe not as much going on behind the wheel as, let's say, maybe a Martinsville or a Bristol. You can kind of shake things off, get used to the car, entry and exits of pit road, getting on the binders, things of that nature. Just reacclimate yourself to the machine. A bit of a layoff between season 11 and tonight's season opener. And a few newcomers really as well. We'll see if the newcomers have to shake off any rust or if they're ready to go here tonight. One of them starting inside of the top 5. We're going to get to that in just a few moments. Awaiting word from the boss man and the flag stand, and we'll get things kicked off here tonight. So 75 laps, over 150 miles of racing action laid out in front of these American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Arca Menard Series drivers with no fast fixes, no quick repairs. Sure, you got tires, you may need them, you may not, but you're gonna have to be on your toes. You're gonna have to be watching in case something happens. Get a little Mike Wazowski action, and always watching. You gotta be on it. Always looking out the mirrors, always in that rear view mirror. Not as much focused on what's going on in front of you. You got the spotters upstairs to give you that, but Daytona, a little bit of a beast. As easy as us racers would like to make it seem, there's a lot going on. On top of the box and behind the wheel, looks like we're awaiting one driver still. Final about 30 seconds here. I do believe we're going to get the word to the pace car to go ahead and roll off of pit road. It looks like Nick Burlow just makes his way through pre-race inspection with just about 5 seconds to spare. I'm talking about cutting it close, massaging those fenders to the very last moment. And there it is, word from above. Pace car begins to roll off. We're going to set the field for tonight's race. Walking away with the Premier Racing Setup.com Pole Award, the first one here in season number 12. Wesley Johnson going to pick things up right where he left off in season number 11. Going to bring the field to green. Well, Dave Gage, we haven't seen him in a while. Gage gonna start outside pole position. From that second position, Nick Burlow and Cody Wilson. Back in row number 2, Wilson debut night here tonight. We'll see if the rookie can maintain. Cody Schultz and Dalton Shall I make up row number 3? Row number 4 here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway, Brian Tarnowski and Patrick Coro. Zach Miller and Alex Wiggins going to round out your top 10 with the 24. Up Nicholas Wing and our third rookie in the field, Randall Easley. Jake Dofing, Nicholas Wing back behind them with Jeffrey Engel. Filling out the 15 car field here tonight for the Visit Ocala 75. You're watching the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Arca Menard series. We're going to fire off for season 12. Just a matter of moments. Pace car ready to duck off. And there goes Mr. Muth back down the pit road into the restart box we go, and green flag flies for the first time here in season 12. Double file, as could be expected on the start of tonight's race, side by side all the way through the field. Small moves being made, no real advantages. Inside lane, get a surge jump just a little bit here at the end of the lap. Number 1, William Bolster, Wesley Johnson lead him back across the line. Dave Gage right there, he's got something to say about it. And at the line, give the lap to Gage. So what a season makes for Dave Gage. Just kind of a lackluster season there in season number 11. Just, it couldn't seem to find a rhythm, couldn't seem to find those finishes, but here he is back behind the wheel of the Arca car, gonna drop from that outside lane down to the lead it inside line. Race leader, I know it's early, let's not give the man his flowers too soon, but Dave Gage looking to turn things around to get back to those winning ways. Mostly single file inside lane here, front 4 on the outside. 59 of Wesley Johnson, Euro pole sitter, has the 3 of Cody Wilson right behind him. The 85 of Dalton Chalet right there, as well as the 91 of Patrick Coro. You know, with 4 cars, and I'm just not sure 4 cars is going to be enough to get the momentum needed to get the pass done, as we see 3 wide into turns 3 and 4. That's not going to be advised for Wesley Johnson, stuck on the high side here. He's going to lose 2, 3, maybe even 4 positions by the time this is finished. And my goodness, look at that. He's going to lose 3. There goes the 4th car. Wesley Johnson from leading that outside lane to pulling the caboose. So we're going to jump around, look around the track just a little bit. 4 laps into tonight's 75 lap feature event here in the feature in the Visit Ocala 75. With a long way of racing to go here, single file racing, not to be surprised at it. A lot of drivers just wanting to log these laps, make it to the end of tonight's race. That Menards Tide, sponsored number 3 machine of Cody Wilson, the rookie. He wants the race lead. He wants to make a name for himself, and he's going to do so. Lead a lap early here from Daytona. So with the rookie leading here at Daytona, we're going to go ahead and drop that timing and scoring over to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Looking around just a little bit. Looks like now just 3 drivers left on the high side out there. 2 I believe no, that's just going to be the one rookie, and he's going to drop down to the inside lane. Rookies at the front, leading those top two positions on the inside, working some magic early here. That outside lane just seems to be able to surge and just get the momentum needed for that lead car to peak out front, dig down to the bottom, and take over the race lead. And I have to ask ourselves, when is that momentum going to start to go away, as we see now only two cars on the high side? That energy, that momentum, that push might go away just a little bit. Just as I say that, the 89 of Jeffrey Engel almost able to clear, but now he's going to get stuck on the high side all alone. This could spell trouble. There it is. Quick. Oh! Man, oh man, the elevator door opened and he jumped it. Three of Wilson didn't like what he's seen, got out of line, got to the high side, and now is losing positions all the way outside of the top five. He's going to fall a little bit further here. Oh. And this just might be a theme as well. We've already seen 2-3 cars make some very abrupt moves just to get back into line. That may be just a theme of this car. If the space is there, you gotta take it. You cannot wait, because the holes are going to close, and they're going to close quickly. Back across the stripes, 7 laps in, lap number 8 now on the board here in the Visit Ocala 75, brought to you by Premier Racing Setups.com in partnership with Hauck Designs. You're watching the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Arca Menard Series. So it looks like Peasley and Wilson gonna try to get together on that outside lane. It is not gonna work out for them. They're gonna continue to lose a handful of positions. Patrick Coro in the 91 front of the field, fresh paint and a fresh facelift on that thing. Look at all the stickers. It wouldn't be Arca without about 700 sponsor stickers across the bumpers, and just like that, you can see him right there on board with Patrick Coro. Tell you what, let's see if we've got a few of those onboard camera shots. Let's jump to, you know what, let's go to second place runner right here, Dalton Chalet. Chalet up 4 positions from where he qualified, so a good run early so far here for Chalet, sitting in the second position for the moment. We'll see if he can stick it out there for the rest of the night. A little further back through the field, we're going to ride on board now with Nick Burlow. The 01 had a little look at that top spot at the start of tonight's race, has since dropped 5 positions all the way outside of your top 5, sitting in the 8th spot for the moment. Seems to be nice and content off of the throttle at moments. We've got lap number 10 on the board. Going to close it out this time around as the field makes their way into 3. Drivers getting a little antsy at the front of the field. Looks like the 3 of Cody Wilson wanted to go. Nobody going to go with him. He'll drop another 2 positions. Now sits in the 5th spot with Dave Gage, early race leader, sitting right behind him. Not a bad place to slot in for these rookies. 2 of them inside of the top 5. Just a nice little spot to settle in. Get some trust built up between yourself and some of these veterans here with the American Sim Motor Racing League. just get kind of not necessarily just acclimated to the track and reacclimated to the cars, but acclimated to your competitors. There's going to be a lot of unknown about you. You got to show them you can take a push. You got to show them that you can give a push as well. So a lot going on for these rookies, able to balance that aggression with contentness rather well early, as the 91 of Patrick Coro gonna jump out of the race lead, gonna jump to the high side. It looks like Dylan Shalee will take over that race lead. Dave Gage leaves the door open just enough. Coro gonna slot in. A little bit of a revolving door at the front of this field. Looks like a few drivers may have been getting hot, having to lift and give up track position. Lap number 12 going to come to a close. This time by, we're going to cross the stripe, lap 13 here at Daytona. Starting to get a little action here at the front of this field. Alex Wiggins at the Crown Royal number 11 machine jump to the high side. He's going to join the duo and think better of it. Drops right back down to the bottom. Third place inside, third car inside the lane. That's going to leave only two drivers to the high side, and it's going to be two rookies working with each other, Shalee and Wilson. Trying to power around the outside. Could you imagine letting two rookies link up and motor their way around on the high side? Oh, high and dry. That three is going to be left to fend for himself on the high side. And for the moment, frenemies. I wouldn't necessarily call anybody a frenemy just yet. A little bit early in the run for all of that. 16 laps in, though, we're going to be looking at green flag pit stops coming up in about the next 10 laps or so. I believe it's going to be about a fuel window of about a 20 to 23 fuel window for these drivers. I believe they are going to have to make 2 stops. Don't quote me on that. Been a while since we've been behind the wheel of the Arca cars. We've been riding and doing our thing in the Junior Open Wheel Series right now. Nonetheless, things looking good here for Jeffrey Engel. Stars and stripes under the lights here tonight. Gonna lead a lap at Daytona International Super Speedway. Engel gonna lead a lap, but Wiggins wants one at the bottom. He's gonna surge. It looks like a little bit of cooperation. You can't see gaps like that be filled that easily without a little bit of friendliness and a little bit of cooperation. Looked Looks like a handful of drivers are working with each other, trying to make sure they're there at the end, giving a little bit of room, but you can guarantee as the lap count ticks down, that give will become take, and you ain't getting nothing. I'm just saying. Very calm and cordial for the moment. Later on tonight, we're gonna get some chaotic carnage. It's Daytona. You don't walk away from Daytona without somebody upside down. That's just the way it is. Greg, Paula, we appreciate you tuning in here tonight to the kickoff for season number 12 with the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Arca series. Jake Dofing's just kind of been holding serve for the moment. 13 machined a little bit further back in the pack. We're going to take a look at him right here. There you can see that Tide sponsored turn 3 machine across the spoiler. Love the way that looks. Amazing job right there. But Jake just kind of just ride, right? Qualified 14th, fits in the 14th position. No real big moments to speak of, but you don't really gotta do much this early in the night. You just can't be your own worst enemy. So we're gonna see if that Snake River Racing number 13 machine can find a way to the front, as we're gonna come around and begin to count down to just 50 to go in tonight's race. So these drivers are clicking these laps off at a fairly fast pace. See how it all shakes out. Entire field within 2 seconds of each other. Everybody chasing after your race leader. Cody Schultz up 4 positions from where he qualified here tonight. The Coors Light, number 5, leads the pack. Nice look just off of the left front of Dave Gage's 404 machine. Was a race leader at one point in time early here tonight. Has since dropped a handful of positions all the way back to 7. A little look back at the field. Lined up single file behind him. There's Brian Ternowski, Nick Burlow, Randall Peasley, Cody Wilson, Wesley Johnson, Nicholas Wing, Jake Dofing, and Daniel Jensen. Final 15 cars on the track. And still a long way to go. I wouldn't be too concerned if your driver is a little bit back through the field. I mean, 15 drivers. We've seen guys go, I mean, what? 10, 12 positions on the final lap here at Daytona, so wouldn't get too caught up in where your driver's running just yet, still just under the halfway point here tonight. So still a lot of racing to be had, and the big one continues to loom as we stay clean and green here tonight. 22 laps in to the Visit Ocala 75 for the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Arca series. Here's the next thing. Tire wear. Drivers have been playing it pretty cool, right? Everybody's been very nice, very polite. You know, this isn't rush hour traffic on the interstate at 5 o'clock. It's, you know, drivers being nice here tonight. You can see as they lay off on the inside lane, the 59 and the 24 say thank you. And they're heading right to the front. Around that outside, 59 of Wesley Johnson back from the dead, looking like the Undertaker. Mr. Where did he come from? Your pole sitter surges all the way from outside of the top 10. not just to the race lead, but they're going to put a gap between themselves in the field. Man. Sheesh. It looks like maybe those two drivers out front, teammates Johnson and Wing, look like they may have a little bit of strategy, maybe catching these drivers off guard, looking to separate themselves. We were going to say 20 plus laps into tonight's race. Field still within 2 seconds of each other. That is giving everybody an opportunity in a shot at this point. But now we're starting to see a little bit of that separation. Two drivers jumped to the high side and decided it was time to go. They're going to catch the field sleeping, try to gauge a gap out there. They pretty much did, and Cody Schultz just was able to hang on. Sniff a little bit of the draft and break away from the field. Fourth place runner Zach Miller in the 38 machine leading the rest of this field, but a 3-car breakaway at the front here on lap number 25. Sneaky, sneaky. You know, I say sneaky, sneaky, but I like it. Everybody just kind of lulled themselves into a bit of a, I don't want to call it a slumber or a sleep, but just kind of relaxed. As green flag pit stops are underway, Schultz and Shalee as well as Wilson all to pit road. So 3 drivers to pit road for the first time here in season number 12. Will the pit road police pop somebody early? But as we were saying, coming to green flag pit stops, man, just catching the field sleeping. Staying on their toes with the strategy. Wesley Johnson, Nicholas Wing rocketed to the race lead once again, putting themselves in one heck of a position. Looks like fuel and tires for the 3 on pit road. Cody Wilson a little bit slower in the box and off of pit road. Going to lose a little bit of ground in a bit of time to Schultz and Shalee. Going to lose just about 5 seconds, and that could put him in some severe, lonely, deep waters. So what do you do here if you're coming to pit road? They're going to see Cody Wilson top of the racetrack, and there it is. Drivers going to peel for pit road. Mass exodus. Oh, under braking. They're scattering. Oh my goodness. How in the world did they find a way to make it work? I don't know, but somehow they got it done. 12 drivers to pit road. Nobody caught for speeding. No accidents or problems. Beautiful. Cody Schultz and Dalton Shalee out on the racetrack could be your eventual race leaders here. Let's try to go over strategy and think about what do you do if you are these drivers coming to pit road? Do you just get fuel? Do you get right size? Do you get 4 in fuel? What do you do? Looks like most of the field with a 4 tire stop. That early pit stop, that may be the way to go. The short pit, the undercut very well may pan out. And it's going to fizzle just a little bit here. So Johnson, Wing, Gage, Jensen, Miller, Coro, Dofing, and Wiggins all able to rejoin the racetrack, get back up to speed, and keep themselves in front of Schultz and Shalee, who's going to reassume racing in the side of your top 10. closing in on the halfway point here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. We have been clean in green. One round of green flag pit stops already behind us here tonight. Is looks like Wing and Johnson looking to try to break away once again. Dave Gage going to drop from that high side down behind Daniel Jensen, leading that inside lane, the 4 of Jensen. Looking good in his gold Coors Light machine. We do have a handful of drivers that have suffered just a little bit due to slow pit stops. Nobody popped with penalties. But Nick Burlow, a little bit slow off of pit road, going to have just about a 2.5 second gap to overcome to get to the back end of Wesley Johnson, who's now heading to the back of this lead pack. Tarnowski, Engel right there running, so the 3-car trail, you'll see him just off in the background. There they go. And then Randall Peasley, Cody Wilson. Rookies with some trouble, a little bit of a rough undercut for those two drivers. They're going to find themselves in deep waters now. Both running single out there on the racetrack, and this is where you don't want to find yourself. This is where you don't want to be at Daytona. 1 is the loneliest number, especially when you're back racing. Back at the front of the field, Jensen, Gage, and Miller going to round out your top 3 podium positions. And I wonder if that looked to go to the back. We seen Nicholas Wing. We seen Wesley Johnson. They were up there leading from that high lane. Scored as 1 and 2. On the high side, Dave Gage dropped down to the bottom. That left it just a 2-car tango at the top. And you've seen them quickly decide to head to the rear. They are going to pick up Nick Burlow, Brian Tarnowski, as well as Jeffrey Ingalls. So your top 13 drivers all right here in this lead pack. But was that a calculated move by those two drivers on the outside lane? The further you are in the pack, the easier it's going to be for you to save a little bit of fuel. You're going to be able to stay about half throttle. Hey, in a nice draft right there. You got drivers in front of you, drivers pushing from the back. So you're going to be able to modulate that throttle, work the gas pedal a little bit more, maybe give yourself a lap or 2 more on the fuel side of things. May not sound like much, but if you can get out of your pit box in, let's say, 7 seconds as opposed to 10 seconds, that is going to be a massive gain when it compounds itself back at race pace. So we'll see if anybody's playing the strategy. We'll see if there's any crew chiefs rolling the dice early here in race number 1, week 1 here in season number 12 for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Arca Menard Series. You're watching the Visit Ocala 75. Across the line, lap number 35 goes on the board, just 3 laps away from the halfway point. And this is what we mean about it doesn't matter where you start from up 12 positions from where he qualified tonight. Daniel Jensen gonna move from 13th on the starting grid all the way to lead the pass. Been about 5 to 6 laps out front for that gold Coors Light. Number 4 machine, the 404 of Day Gage, right behind him. Zach Miller, Patrick Coro, and Jake Profing. Where'd he come from? Turnaround of the night for him, up 9 positions now for that Snake River Racing. Number 13 machine, Doping, will round out your top 5. Gonna jump back inside the car with a handful of drivers on board here with Alex Wiggins hitting 6th on the racetrack. Right behind that 13 machine of Dofing has Schultz right behind him. Should lead the rookie sitting back in that 8th position. Let's go on board now with your pole sitter, Wesley Johnson. Right behind teammate from pretty much a replica paint scheme. Looks like the wrapping department liked it so much they put it on twice. We're gonna jump back around here. Let's jump back outside of the car and around the track before we get a little closer to the action once again. Dave Gage all over the rear. The 4 of Jensen. There to go nowhere for the moment. Halfway here from Daytona. Sights and sounds here from Daytona International Super Speedway. Visit Ocala 75 just past the halfway point. Real quick bit of house cleaning here tonight. 15 drivers to the starting grid, all 15 still under power in on the racetrack. Everybody remains on the lead lap. One green flag pit stop already behind us, and we have been clean and green all night to kick things off the start of season number 12 here with the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Arca Menards series. And it's been kind and cordial. I don't want to say nice and sweet because that just seems wrong. Everybody has been. They've been playing nice. When do you flip that switch. We've seen drivers within a 2-lap time frame span about a 10-car deficit. So you already have a little bit of a measuring stick on what can be done in what amount of time with how aggressive that move was. If you're a little more aggressive, will you be able to make up that difference a little bit easier? Will you be able to overcome a greater distance? So all that's going to come into factor. All that's going to come into play as we continue to click off these laps. Coming to just about 30 laps to go here. One more green flag pit stop is laid out in front of these guys. Will that be the deciding factor of the night for a handful of guys? We already seen that first round of green flag pit stops subjugate 2 rookies to the rear of the field. So will it catch a few veterans off guard? And I mean, we're right around the corner. Right around the corner. I would say looks like the majority of the field came to pit road right around lap number 27 or so. So you're looking at maybe being able to push it to 52, 56. So we're about 10 laps away from what could be the final stop of the night for these drivers. What do you do? You know, if it's me, I'm getting either who I think I have the best chance of pushing, or who has the best chance of pushing me. And I'm going full of fuel, no tires, no tear-offs, now as quick as possible. That's the strategy I'm playing. That's what I think is going to win the race for one of these drivers here tonight. I think it will be a fuel-only call that will make the difference here tonight. We're going to find out, of course, as we stay locked in right here from Daytona International Super Speedway. Laps to go as we cross the line this time by the transition from day to night has not caught any of these drivers off guard. Get acclimated to driving under the lights, because next week we're going to fire it off with the Queen City 150 Charlotte Motor Speedway, hosting race number 2 here in season number 12 for the American Sim Motor Racing Arca Series. And we're going to follow that up with the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway will host race number 3 under the lights once again. So we're going to have some short track Saturday night fields across the first 3 weeks of racing here in season number 12. Excuse me. And honestly, I honestly can't say I'm upset. Love the way the cars look underneath the lights. It's just something about the way these things shine. Or maybe it's the grassroots feel you get when you see race cars on track under the lights. Just gives you that that short track, that dirt track, that hometown feel. And maybe I'm just weird. I mean, you know what, we're not even going to get started. I've been able to keep myself on track. We're going to stay on track. As these drivers have been able to stay on track. We're going to keep ourselves attentive. Attentive? Skip it. Coming out of fourth this time around, lap number 49 will go on the board. Just about 25 laps remaining, so we are in that fuel window now. Drivers would be able to come to pit road at this point, from anywhere from this point on, and make it to the end. But are they trying to build in maybe a little bit of buffer in case we do see that one late race caution that could spiral into a handful of green-white checkered attempts? But when things get that close, you really don't want to give up the track position at that point. So it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers do if we do get that late race caution. Battling it out like best buddies at the front of this field. We've been not really bumping and grinding here tonight at Daytona International Super Speedway. A little bit of a quiet night on the track here. Not a lot of pushing and shoving. Drivers playing nice for the moment, but the time for niceness is coming to a close. Peasley and Wilson going to be the first two drivers to head to pit road once again. They're going to head to pit lane this time by. They will go one lap down as the race leaders going to make their way across the stripe. And really what started off as a good night for both the 3 as well as the 63. I'm going to pit road and just having those lackluster stops really put them behind the 8 ball right from the start. Well, not right from the start, but from about lap 26. With this thing staying clean and green, they just haven't been afforded the opportunity to close in. We're seeing drivers jump to the high side just as we did towards the end of that first run. Ooh, getting a little dicey at the front. As Nick Burlow says, I'm going to take the push from Ternowski and Jeffrey Engel, and we're going to go to the front. Watching what Wing and Johnson did last time around, and here comes that 59 and 38 to the high side. 24 and 59, I apologize. Not able to really get that run generated this time around. Nicholas Wing, Wesley Johnson, it looks like they may be stuck to the high side. Will we see the mass exodus that we did on lap number 27? And it looks like we've got 3 more takers this time around. Daniel Jensen, Jake doping in. Cody Schultz gonna head to pit road. Top 10 going to remain out on the racetrack. New race leader Nick Burlow at the front in his take 5. Duramax sponsored one machine. Ternowski right behind him. Texaco have a lean throwback look. And I tell you what, that thing looks good as well. A lot of nice looking cars here tonight. Big shout out to Hauck Designs. I know they put in a lot of work back in the wrap rooms for a lot of these teams, and man, when it all comes together, what a phenomenal job. So if you're in the market, you're looking around, you need a new wrap for your ride, doesn't matter what it is, all the way from GTs to open wheels, they can get the job done. Look no further, check them out on facebook.com. That's Hauck Designs. Checking in with your premier racing setup.com pole award winner Wesley Johnson led a handful of laps, had an amazing surge to reclaim that top spot just before the first round of green flag pit stops. A little bit of a struggle here as he's going to reclaim a spot inside of the podium positions as we've got everybody to pit road. 8 drivers to pit road: Burlow, Wiggins, Tarnowski, Miller, Crow, Gage, Engel, and Sholey. And I don't know if I want to be just 2 drivers. Daniel Jensen, Cody Schultz, Jake Dofing were able to stay together, able to stay with each other. But I'm getting a little curious right here. This is what I thought. There it is right there. You can see Daniel Jensen. There's Cody Schultz, Dofing sitting right there. And that is the 63. That is the 63 of Randall Peasley. Able to link up with those 3 lead lab drivers. And that's going to aid their attempts to get back to the front. A lot of drivers making their way off of pit road. Brian Tarnowski able to okie doke the field. A little bit of less time in the box. 9.3 second pit stop, and that has given the 28 the race lead. Great execution for these top 3 men. Tarnowski, Wiggins, Burlow, an amazing job. You can see Wesley Johnson and Nicholas Swing on the apron getting up the speed. Let's go to them guys. Let's get to them as this is going to be the battle out of 2. You should see him begin to come into the picture. Not able to make up enough time, not able to make up enough distance. Looks like fuel only for Johnson and Wing. It wasn't enough to give them the outright race lead just yet, but man, oh man, they are cooking. We've got side-by-side action back behind them. Daniel Jensen, Cody Schultz, Jeffrey Engel, Jake Dofing, all side-by-side. Here's the 3rd pack. On the track, will they be able to run down those 3? Or will the 2-car tandem get down at the end? Well, as you can see on your screen, it all starts here, rolling across the bottom, and this is where, indeed, the drama is going to unfold. Inside of 20 laps, we've got 3 distinct packs. 2 cars lead the race, followed by a pack of 3. A giant pack of cars right here. That's going to be about, what is that? About 9 drivers right here lined up with each other. We'll see if they're able to reel those guys in at the front, because they are losing some ground. Wesley Johnson, Nicholas Wing going to the high side, and that is going to bring Tarnowski, Wiggins, and Burlow right in the mix. And could they be a little bit short on fuel? Very short pit stops. Very short pit stops for Johnson and Ring. Have the crew chiefs miscalculated just a little? Maybe needing to save fuel here. Second pack now just 3.1 seconds back. The opportunity for them to reel in this 5-car front of the field, it's there. They got enough time. 16 laps, they can get it done if they get in line. But it looks like getting a little bit further behind here, settling things out now. Looks like the run to the front will begin. We'll keep our eyes back here, but we're going to transition back inside of the top 5. Let's go up here with your race leader, Brian Ternowski, leading Alex Wiggins, Nick Bello, Wesley Johnson, and Nicholas Wing. Top 5 breakaway, 3.5 second gap back to Cody Schultz. So, I mean, this is where it all... This is where it all starts. I hate to say it, but this is where you set the tone for your season. 12 weeks of racing until we crown a king. There are no playoffs. There is no championship format. There ain't no winning your end. It's just down and dirty, old school points accumulation, and can you get it done? You ain't gotta win, but you better be at the front. Week in, week out, with 15 to go. Pulling on the rest of the field. There's a problem back in that second pack. We're gonna see these 5 drivers right here fight it out. With, I want to say, with about 5 laps to go, you can see the trouble begin to brew. Looking a little restless back in that 4th and 5th position. You can see the tag team twins doing a little dance. Looks like they're getting a little bit antsy, and as they're mixing it up here, that second pack, look at the timing and scoring, folks. They are now within 2 seconds. They have been able to make up over 2 seconds on these top 5 drivers, and now side by side, it's going to slow that roll a little bit more. $12 to go. By side for the race lead. Second pack of drivers closing in. Looks like we may have 13 cars with the opportunity at the end of tonight's Visit Ocala 75. Brought to you by the American Sim Motor Racing, Hauck Designs, Arca, Menard Series, and man, I tell you, 3 laps to go. 4 laps ago, you would not have been able to convince me that that second pack would be enough to get there. And they are there, ladies and gentlemen. They are there, folks. They have arrived on scene. Looks like the 85, the rookie Dalton Chalet. He's out to the high side. Quickly to the high side, looking for a little bit of help. Gonna side draft. Just a little out of 3, trying to slow the roll of that inside lane. Not gonna have much luck doing it. Has some help at the high side now as Tarnowski gonna jump to the high side. Wiggins follows suit. The 0-1, but Nick Burlow gonna go with him. 2-3 wide for a moment. They're gonna think about it. Johnson stays to the high side. Tarnowski gonna follow suit, leading that inside lane. Teammate big push, getting that 59 of Johnson out of shape. Tarnowski makes a big move. Big stack up on the inside. We told you it was going to amp up as it got closer. Oh, we got trouble. Trouble on the front stretch. Tarnowski to the high side and contact the 85 into the outside wall. That's going to slow the roll of those two drivers. Able to stay with the draft for the moment, so they still have that chance. They still have that opportunity. Alex Wiggins now leads the inside lane with Wesley Johnson just to his outside. Nicholas Burlow, Nicholas Wing right here inside the top 5. And one heck of a job by Tarnowski, as well as that 85 of Ashali, able to slot back in line, minimize the losses for the moment, mitigate the damage. As we're down to just 8 laps to go, Wesley Johnson moving around quite a bit. There's going to be some contact. We're going to go 3 wide as the 0-1 will root the 59 out the way. We are getting busy. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a wreck just waiting to happen. They've crashed, they just ain't wrecked it yet. Two drivers with their fingers crossed, hoping there's some problems very shortly. The 3 of Cody Wilson, the 63 of Randall Beasley. Both drivers stuck 1 lap down, one looking for a lucky dog. Will one get a wave around? Would we see all 15 drivers with a chance to win in the final few laps here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway? For the time being, the answer is no. Alex Wiggins digging on the bottom. We got trouble on the track. Big problems as your premier racing setup.com pull award winner hard into the outside wall, and that's going to put an end to the run for that 59. The 3 of Cody Wilson going to be caught up involved in this one. Dalton Chalet also involved. Big problems here on lap number 69 from Daytona International Super Speedway. Let's take a little look. Let's go back. Let's see how it all went down. For our first caution of the night, let's take a little look here. There's the contact between the 01 and the 59. Johnson down across the track into the 4, back up into the 385s collected. Brian Tarnowski going to pick up a piece of it as well. So a handful of drivers going to be caught up involved in this late race caution First and only caution so far here tonight from Daytona, so we'll give it that. Johnson, Wounded Warrior, still out there on the track. It's going to be a long, long night. What this does, unfortunately now for that 85, for that 3, both drivers caught up and involved with this on-track incident, so we will not see a lucky dog recipient, and they will stay off of the lead lap. Road open, and we've got a few takers. Daniel Jensen, Brian Tarnowski, Nick Burlow, Dave Cage, all to pit road. So we're going to have some fresh tires with just about 2 laps to go. This will be an unofficial green-white checkered attempt. So will we see? Will we see? Cautions breed cautions. Will calamity continue? Will the chaos compound itself into us having a little bit of a junkyard here at Daytona International Superspeedway? Clean and green for 69 laps. 4 drivers caught up involved in our first and only incident here tonight. Man. They about wrecked for about 5 or 6 laps. Let's be honest, folks. They were mixing it up, some big blocks going on. Well, I don't want to call them big blocks, because there was no egregious block out there. At least not from our vantage point. No egregious blocking, no dangerous blocks. Some abrupt moves. Keeping yourself at the front of the field, leading the pack, as can be expected. Nothing out of line from any of the drivers. Just a push gone awry, and, well, you go around 4 drivers involved in caution number 1. Here, the Visit Ocala 75, brought to you by the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs. Arca Menard Series. And what we asked, what do you do if there is a late race caution? We got the answer. 4 drivers said tires in fuel. Looks like about 8 drivers said, no, I'm good. A little bit of a mix on the good of those good years inside of your top 5. From lap 52 all the way to lap 55 was when drivers inside of your top 5 elected to come to pit road for the second and final time of the night. Will the drivers that stopped, Gage, Miller, Burlow, Jensen, will those 4 fresh Goodyears matter enough with 3 laps to go? Will the fresh rubber allow them to make the abrupt moves and have the grip needed to get it done? I don't know. I ain't got a crystal ball, so I couldn't tell you. If I did, I would definitely share some winning lottery numbers, and we could get a little kickback, get a little thing going. All right, we're going to leave that alone. Tail end of the field begins to catch up to your race leaders. Double file at the front. Pace car lights are off. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing. With 3 laps to go as we cross the line. This time by into the restart zone, and away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Daytona. Less than 8 miles of racing in front of these A.S.M.R series drivers. Who's gonna cap off opening night with a checkered flag performance? Alex Wiggins has the top spot for the moment. 3, 4, 5, 6 car breakaway at the front. Turnowski, Wounded Warrior, stuck to the high side, stuck all alone. 13 of Jake Dauphin gonna jump to the high side in front of Dave Gage. Looks like we've got some takers on that high side run. Coming to 2 to go, popsicle sticks on display, this time by just 2 laps remaining. 5 miles of racing live here from Daytona International Super Speedway. Outside lane gaining ground. Jake Dauphin in that Snake River Racing Tide sponsored number 13 machine started at the rear of the field. Now up 11 positions, battling side by side for seconds. Wiggins to the top. Blocking that run, Gage into the 91 of Coro. Little bit of a squeeze play back in the field. Coro gonna get moved around and pushed into that outside wall. Out of 4 coming across the stripe, we're gonna see the 1 lap to go. It's the 1 lap to go. White flag flies, final lap. Here from Daytona, Dave Gage back out front with help from Nick Barlow. 89 of Jeffrey Engel to the high side with help from the 63 of Beasley. Wiggins, third man in line for the Crown Royal. Number 11 jump to the high side, look for the race lead. We're going to drag race down the back stretch. We're going to have trouble. Go around in the back. We're going to stay. Green flag racing to the end. Outside lane fizzles out. That's going to do it for the run of Jeffrey Engel. Now it all comes down to out of 4. Barlow going to look to the top. Gage gets spun around. Gage goes around, rear of the field goes around. Jake Dauphin crosses the line with a race win. Holy wow. What did we just see? Holy wow. We're going to slow this one down. We're going to get a little look from a different vantage point if we can. Guys, do we got that one? Let's go back and let's check this checkered flag out. And there it is, coming off of 4. There's the contact. Barlow into Wiggins, back into Gage. That's going to... Did you see the Red Seas part? Holy... Jake Dauphin, man. Right place, right time. Wow. One more look at it right here. You can see the O1 begins to come down the racetrack just a little bit. There's the contact with Wiggins. There's the contact with Gage. And the Red Seas parting open wide for that 13. Cody Schultz able to snake his way through, but then contact with teammate, fellow Brewer. The two Coors Light machines get into each other, and there it is across the stripe. Jake Dauphin, man, getting it done. He's enjoying one hell of a post-race celebration, I can assure you that. Walking away with the race win. First checkered flag here in season number 12, and the 13 will park it at the start-finish line. What a run, what a race. Under the lights here tonight at Daytona. We're going to take a quick commercial break and back trackside for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere. Race fans will be right back. And back track side for tonight's post race show right here from Daytona International Super Speedway. What a night, what a race, and enjoying his first race win. We're going to dive right into things. We're going to head straight to victory lane. Let's see if we can have a few words with the man that walked away with the top spot here tonight. Let's grab new race winner behind the wheel of that 13 machine. Jake, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy? Man, I tell you what, things just opened up for you right there at the end. Did you think it was going to happen when you were working your way up a floor?
You know, man, we've been trying to do that strategy, just chilling and waiting until the end, and then we pounce at the end, and then something always stupid happens to us, and so it's just awesome to see that us Snake River guys all finished 1-3-4 here.
Well, man, it was a little bit of a quiet start to tonight's race. You qualified deep in the field, man, all the way back there at about, what was it, about 14th. And you just kind of hung out and rode back there for quite some time. And then all of a sudden, boom, inside the top 10, boom, inside the top 5. So, I mean, it looked like a little bit of a methodical strategy. Was that the key to tonight?
Yeah, key to tonight was we were just trying to get ahead on fuel. By the end, we were, plus a little bit, and so when we got to the green, white checkers and stuff, if there was a few of them, we were prepared, and luckily we just had one, and everyone kept it real clean tonight, which is just awesome. Shout out everybody.
Well, man, you walk away with race win number 1 on the season in race number 1 this season right here from Daytona. I know you got a lot of celebrating to do for the rest of the night with this race winning performance, man. You set yourself up for a great season number 12, so we won't hold you long before we let you go. Shoutouts,
Hey.
thank yous, love yous.
Hey, I've been waiting for this moment, Dave, because I told everybody that I'm not gonna tell you this, but my last name is Doffing, and I've been waiting until
Man.
we got here in the cave and I could do this. I've been telling everybody this whole time that I'm like, I'm not gonna correct him, I'm not gonna say nothing, because I need the podium, I need the win is awesome. So it's just awesome to be up here, man.
Well, you get a checkered flag and to correct me all in one night. What more
Hell
could
yeah.
you ask for?
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate everything y'all do. Shout out Turn 3.
Well, man, congratulations on your race winning performance. Before we let you go, though, seriously, would you like to give any more shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Shout out my kiddo and my wife to holding it down for me so we can do things like this,
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, again, my man, enjoy this one. I hope it's going to be the first of many more this season, but we'll see how it all shakes out. Until then, my friend, enjoy that checkered flag performance. Stay safe and keep it fast.
Heck yeah, appreciate it, Dave.
All right, there you have it from your race winner correcting us a little bit here tonight. I gotta be better. Can't be as good as him as he's gonna walk away with the checkered flag, but that's gonna move us right along the list. We're gonna see if we can grab a few words with another one of our podium drivers here tonight. Let's see if we can grab and have a little talk with the man that walked away third here tonight, up 10 positions from where he qualified. Daniel Jensen behind the wheel of that 4 Coors Light car. Man, how you doing? How you feeling after a solid way to open up season 12?
Feeling awesome. Stoked for my teammate getting his first win in A.S.M.R. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, you know me, and you know I'm gonna say something about it, right? I know it's your teammate with the race win, but a little bit of contact between you Coors Light cars, man. What's going on there? Battle of the breweries or something? What's going on here?
Cody's also my teammate. I thought he was going to follow Jake up the track coming to the line right there, and then he came back down in front of me, which I didn't expect. He still got 4th, though, so we're good.
Still walks away 4th, so still a great race for the entire race team, really. Walk us through those final few laps before that caution, man. Things were getting a little bit dicey up there in the front.
Yeah, I didn't plan on being up in the front. After the first pit cycle, I cycled out in the lead somehow, and I wasn't planning on it. I was just planning on running in the back. And then there with like 10 to go, that caution got into my wheel and it said I had wheel damage, so I thought my race was done. I came down and did 3 minutes of repairs, and I was good to go.
Well, a little bit of gorilla tape. I don't think they use duct tape anymore, but that shows you how old I am. But we're gonna move on past that one, and everything held up for you, man. We're gonna hit some great tracks under the lights for these next 2 weeks, Charlotte and Darlington. How you feeling about the next two?
The next two are two of my favorites. In Charlotte, I probably have the most seat time in this Arca car. I did like 20 officials in 1 week when this car first came out at Charlotte, so a lot of seat time there, and Darlington's always my favorite.
Well, Daniel, again, congratulations on making it back into a podium position to open things up here in season number 12. We've got 11 more weeks to go to Crown of King. Hopefully we see you once again, but until then, my friend, shout-outs, thank yous, love yous.
Yep, thank you. I'm glad you're back to broadcasting races. It was a nice break, but I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, a little bit of a nice break. You know, everybody needs one from time to time, but you guys shook off the rust and performed phenomenally here tonight. So congratulations on the podium finish. Until we meet again, my friends, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Yep, thank you.
All right, there you have it. Driver walking away in that third position, Daniel Jensen. Gonna walk away with a podium here tonight. Amazing run for Jensen as well. And we're gonna see if we can't grab the driver that walked away in second. Alex a little bit tied up with some other media obligations. We're gonna butt right in though. Why? Because Dave, and that's what we do. We like to butt in while people are handling media things. But Alex, we're gonna pull you away from that for a second. Second place finish here tonight. Man, did you think you were gonna have that opportunity when we had 5 to go?
I have no idea. Things happen so quick. I don't even remember where I was with 5 to go.
You know what? I love that answer because it's the most honest answer I've heard. That is a well done, sir.
I have no clue. I thought I was gonna be able to get Dave the win, and then I hit him way too hard and wrecked him. So that wasn't the plan. I mean, I can't complain with second, but I just feel bad for Dave.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna harp on you too much here. There was a little bit more contact than just from you, so I'm gonna leave it at that. You know me, I don't stir controversy and stuff like that. But anyways, I mean, I get what you're saying, Dave. You know, looked like he kind of turned the page. Struggled a little bit last season. Qualified up near the front, running up front at the end. Just bit him. But you know, Logano says that's short track racing. I'm gonna say that's plate racing.
Touche. I mean, you can't. I mean, that's gonna happen. At the end of these races, I mean, I said at 5 to go, I didn't know where I was. Things happen so fast. I think I led this coming to the white. I think I led the lap, if that tells you anything. It's just the Snake River guys had it set up to win. The front three, we had it set up to win, and then Jake comes out of nowhere and beats us all. So, I need to go back and watch the race because half the things I don't even remember.
Well, he didn't come from nowhere. He came from behind you on the starting grid. Maybe that's why you didn't see him, but every one of you Snake River guys up multiple positions. So not only a phenomenal job individually, but also for the team. Team points are going to be outrageous for you guys heading into Charlotte next week. Speaking of Charlotte, back under the lights, how you feeling about night racing from Queen City?
I've never been a fan of night races, but Charlotte is an exception. That place it's fun under the lights. Charlotte is pretty good in the Arca car. It's always been fun. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, Alex, again, congratulations on a great debut here in season number 12. We're going to walk away second. Great points day for you and the team. Before we let you go, you know the drill. Shoutouts, thank yous, love yous.
Having you back is awesome. I know you took a little break. I hope that treated you well, and I'm glad you're back. Everybody, all the new guys that showed up, the admins, for everything that they do, and just being able to have some fun.
Well, again, Alex, congratulations, and I'm glad to be back as well. I appreciate all the love from everybody. sometimes you just need to breathe. You know what I mean? But you guys let it breathe as well. We're back on track, back on schedule, and ready to rock once again. And a phenomenal night in the books for you, as well as that whole Snake River crew. So congratulations on second place tonight. Until we see you in Charlotte, stay safe, keep it fast.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, there you go. Final words from your podium drivers here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. What a night. Clean and green for 69 laps, one late race caution, and then a mad dash to the end. Doesn't get much better than that. In the familiar sounds in the background, producers ready to roll, so let's get it started with your unofficial race results here in the Visit Ocala 75. Walking away with his first win, it's Jake, not from State Farm. Swinton's gonna come home in second, with Daniel Jensen finishing out the podium. Cody Schultz, the fourth Snake River Racing driver inside of your top five. An amazing job from all of those drivers. Nick Burrow in the 01, a little bit of contact late in the race, but still manages to come home fifth. Jeffrey Engel in the 89 machine gonna slot home in sixth. Seventh place tonight belongs to the rookie Randall Beasley. Brian Turnowski gonna finish in eighth tonight with a 404 of Dave Gage not finding the start finish line after leading out of turn 4. The 404 will finish in ninth. Finishing out your top 10 tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway, the 24 machine of Nicholas Wing. Zach Miller home in 11th with Patrick Coro. Sliding home in 12th. 13th place tonight belongs to the 59 machine, your premier racing setup.com poll award winner Wesley Johnson with trouble late will finish 13th. We're going to finish off the running order with two rookies here tonight. Dalton Shalee and Cody Wilson will finish 14th and 15th tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway, and that's going to pretty much do it for us here from the booth. We're going to begin to cut off the lights, roll up the cords, get ready to head just about, what is it? I believe it's close to 1,300 miles, somewhere in that range. We gonna hit up 95. We're gonna head to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Queen City hosting race number 2 here in season number 12. What a night right here from Daytona. Again, that's going to do it for us. We do want to take this moment to thank each and every one of the sponsors. Title Series sponsors, Hauck Design, the American Sim Motor Racing League, as well as Butt Kicker. Hauck Designs and Premier RacingSetups.com. An amazing night of racing right here from the track. That's going to do it for us. But before we go, if you haven't already, remember to show those drivers some love and join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Drop these guys a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. For myself, David the Cave, and everybody else back at the headquarters, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet ya in Turn 3.